Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Good morning students. In this video, I would like to continue with the previous video concept. Previous video we started about 11th standard physiology chapter. In the physiology, digestion and absorption topic is going on. In this video, here structure of teeth, what are the parts are present in the teeth, and then tongue, along with the tongue, a detailed diagrammatic explanation about human digestive system and histology of alimentary canal we want to know in this video. Let me start today's video section. Dear student, let me start today's video session. Teeth. These teeth is mesodermal origin. Because of yesterday we said about why teeth is mesodermal origin. Because teeth is formed from the involvement of mesoderm and ectoderm, embryonic developmentation layers. Mesoderm also play an important role and ectoderm also play an important role. And yesterday, previous video, I said about here odontoblast cells. Odontoblast cells are origin from the mesoderm. Okay, and then ameloblast cells are origin from the ectoderm. So the origin of odontoblast and ameloblast. Ameloblast onwards enamel will form, and odontoblast cells onwards dentin will form. Here the total tooth, the major component is dentin and then enamel. So that's why the major components of the teeth or tooth that is belongs to meso-ectoderm. Nothing but enamel and dentin. Enamel is a strongest substance in our body, correct na? Then dentin. Then in this session, structure of the tooth. Before going to discuss about the tooth, our dentition we call as a polyphyodont. Polyphyodont or diphyodont. Diphyodont mean these teeth, what we have the teeth in our total lifespan, 2 times only it will origin. Okay, 2 times it will produce. One time in the form of the milk teeth, if the milk teeth is shed out, they are replaced by the permanent teeth. Correct now. Then next one, our teeth we call the heterodont because of different kinds of teeth we can find. What are the different type? Incisors, canines, molars, premolars, like. Correct na. Then adikaparam next one, our teeth dentition we call as a heterodont. Okay. Just now only we completed heterodont, diphyodont. Okay, and then thecodont. What is a thecodont? When the teeth are arranged into the jaw socket here. Diagrammatic representation time, one more time I will say. These jaw socket onwards, teeth are abandoned or fixed in jaw socket, that is called thecodont dentition. Now when you come to that teeth structure, that teeth totally outer cover, total teeth cover having the 3 major parts. One is a crown, next one is a neck, another one is a root. Okay, when you are brushing of your teeth, which part you are cleaning every day, such a part totally crown. Okay, and then some of the situationally your jaws onwards, jaws onwards, something bleeding will be there. Okay, so which place very sensitive part in the jaw, that part the teeth is attaching with the jaw socket, the pointer place we call as a neck, and then which part we can't able to see the normally, that part is the root. Also we can derive like this, we can able to explain like which part is fixing in the jaw socket, such a part is a root. Crown, neck, root, these are the three major parts. Crown is a visible part, root is non-visible part. In between the crown and the root, it is a which of the place is attaching with the gum, the jaws, such a place is called neck. Okay, now detailed parts. The outer layer is covered by the enamel. These enamel only formed from the ameloblast. This enamel is a very strongest substance in our body. And then next, the below that enamel, dentin is there, nothing but cement. Okay, just if you want some clear, somewhat of clear explanation, when you construct the one wall covered by the painting, correct na? That painting we call as a enamel here. Okay, that based on that glittering look will be there, correct now. And below that painting, plaster, cement, the bricks, these and all is there. That and all comes in the similar to the dentin. Okay, and then the dentin back side or inside a cavity is there. That cavity we call as a pulp cavity. Okay, pulp cavity. I think so. When your childhood, when the tooth are fall down, shed out, and that time everyone seen that back side of inner part of the tooth. When you turn the back side of the tooth, it has a deep depression, correct now? That deep pit is there. That deep pit we call as a pulp cavity. Okay, then that pulp cavity inside several blood vessels are supply is there, arteries, veins, and nerves also is there. When the nerves also having the presence, I mean when in which place nerves presence are there, such a place gives a severe pain. So that's why tooth pain, if it is you when you are getting time, is severe pain, you cannot tolerate. Okay, sensory organs pains we cannot tolerate. Okay, ear pain, okay, these and all, okay, whatever it is. So blood vessel supply is there. Along with blood vessels, nerves also is there. And then the tooth arranged into the one bone, that bone we call as a jawbone. On the jawbone only a particular places they are called as a jaw sockets. On that inside of the jaw sockets also called as a alveolus. Inside of the jaw sockets only tooth are arranged. Okay, the fixing of the tooth in the jaw socket. That jaw sockets are present on the jawbone. This is the strongest bone. Okay, strongest particle is enamel. Jawbone is the strongest bone in our body. Okay, see, and as the place of the base, periodontal membrane. Periodontal membrane, dontal means tooth. The tooth is covered by the one membrane, that totally we call as a, that's we given the name as a periodontal. Peri means surrounded. Okay, that only. See nana, mesodermal origin, tooth is a mesodermal origin, it is covered by the enamel. It is ectodermal origin, dentin, this is a mesodermal origin. In the tooth, a pulp cavity is there, it filled with one fluid, that is a pulp. And then the jaw sockets attaching with the tooth with the help of the gum. That when you observe that any advertisement, toothpaste advertisements, they are saying about the gum. Some of the sensitive places, gum onwards, something bleeding will be there is a chances. In the pulp cavity, blood vessel supply is there, nerves also is there, so that's why very pain will be there when the improper cleaning. And then the teeth are arranged into the jaw socket, jawbone. At the jawbones, jaw sockets are there. That jaw sockets we called as a alveolus. Okay, and then total tooth in the inside root, covered by the one of the membrane. That membrane we call as a periodontal membrane. That is about regarding tooth. Then come to the another buccal cavity organ, that is the tongue. Tongue is a taste detective or detection organ. that is a movable and it is a muscular and sensory organ. It find out the taste, so that's why it is a sense organ, sir. And then it is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity with the help of the one of structure, that structure frenulum. Very important word, frenulum. Frenulum, the tongue attaching with the floor of the buccal cavity with the help of the frenulum. Okay, just when you are childhood, I think so you are practicing like that, holding up your tongue in with your hand and pull the outside. You felt the tongue is attaching to the one place, that place only frenulum, base of the floor, that attachment place is attached by the frenulum. When you see that tongue perfectly and clear identification, the tongue having the lot of buds, that buds we call as a papillae. In that papillae, some of the papillae act as a taste buds. Some of the buds act as a taste buds. Then these papillae are three type of papillae. Okay, one is a fungiform, next one filiform, next one circumvallate. Fungiforms are present at the anterior place. Anterior means a tip of your tongue, when you tip of your tongue. And then filiform present in the surface area, and circumvallate, it is a posterior. Posterior means when early in the morning you are cleaning of your tongue with the tongue cleaner, in which place onwards you are cleaning, that place these circumvallate papillae are there. Filiform, surface area, fungiform, anterior. Some based on that functions, they detect some of the taste. For example, if you want to taste the salt, tip is enough. Tip place taste, salt taste is easily detected. And then if you want to taste the sugar, if you want to keep the on surface area, hot or chili, if you want to taste the chili, hot means the hot will sensible by the back side, okay, tongue back side. So after swallowing, after also we are getting lot of hotness by these posterior papillae, posterior taste buds. Okay, one more time, tongues are taste detection organs, and then it is useful for deglutition and mastication. Mastication means chewing, deglutition means after chewing we want to swallow. Swallowing process we call it the deglutition. These tongue is movable, muscular and sense organs attached to the floor of the buccal cavity with the help of the frenulum. These tongue having the three type of papillae, one is a fungiform, filiform and circumvallate. Fungiform at anterior place it is present, filiform these are surface of the tongue, and then circumvallate posterior place. Then these tooth we call the universal toothbrush, that tooth brush, because of we can able to clean our teeth with the help of the tongue oftenly. And then come to the diagrammatic explanation of human digestive system. In the human digestive system, yesterday already orally I explained, it is a mouth opening into the buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity opening into the next part of the pharynx. Next part is the pharynx. The mouth place on previous video, mouth covered by the bordered by the upper lip, lower lip, and then the buccal cavity roof place one important structure is there. That structure we called as a palate. That is palate again divided into the soft palate and hard palate. Hard palate surface area, rippled surface is there. Soft palate back side, bell like structure is hanging in the end of the buccal cavity, that we called as a uvula. That yesterday we completed. Then when the next mouth buccal cavity part, pharynx, which is a common part, nasal passage and then oral passage totally opening into the one common place, that is the pharynx. About pharynx, this video ending session, the third column I will explain. Then pharynx, after it will be leads to the next direct straight part, that is a esophagus tube. These tube going on through the thoracic onwards up to abdominal places. When it is reach the abdominal place, it is goes through the diaphragm ki keela, that will be entering into the one of the sac-like structure, that is a stomach. That is a stomach. Okay. Then esophagus. In the esophagus, from the esophagus onwards, the next part, the stomach place, opening place, a small sphincter is there. Okay. That sphincter name is called as a gastroesophageal sphincter. Now what I am saying, pharynx onwards, next leads to the next part, esophagus. Esophagus is a one tube-like structure. That tube-like structure leads to the next part, the stomach or gastro. The stomach gastro part beginning place, the ending part of the esophagus, a opening is there, gateway is there. That gateway we call the sphincter. Here that sphincter name is a gastroesophageal sphincter. Gastro means stomach, esophagus means the previous structure, correct now? Gastroesophageal sphincter. Now that what we are eaten food, after swallowing, that food will be going on through the esophagus to the gastroesophageal sphincter, it will reach the stomach. So when it is reach the stomach, if you turn the body upright, okay, food will not come to the backward direction because of these sphincter will close. These sphincter, which sphincter? Gastroesophageal sphincter. Except in one time, vomiting sensation time only, vomiting situation only, these gastroesophageal sphincter will be come to the back, open it, and then food will be allowing the backward direction. And then when you coming to the next part, stomach having the three major parts. These are the stomach part. Stomach having the three major parts. One is a cardiac stomach, another one is a fundic, and then pyloric. Cardiac stomach, why we are keeping these name? This stomach part is very near to the heart, so that's why cardiac stomach, fundic stomach, and pyloric stomach. Okay. Then this is a place for store the something food, mixing thoroughly and partially digestion. What particles will digest? Physiology time, mechanism time I will tell. And then these pyloric stomach leads to the next part, small intestine. The small intestine beginning part, that part name is the duodenum. Now in between of these stomach to small intestine, one more sphincter is there. That sphincter name we call as a pyloric sphincter. What is here? Pyloric mean here pyloric stomach. The end of the pyloric stomach only, what it is present? Pyloric sphincter. This sphincter is allowing the food item to the these forward direction from the stomach to partially digested food into in the small intestinal places. That to which place? And duodenum. In this place only we want to think one of the important thing in the duodenum part. Here some below the diaphragm. Here diaphragm irukku in this place. Okay, below the diaphragm in this place liver, and then opposite side pancreatic. Already I said associated glands are there in the digestive system. These are the associated glands, and in the buccal cavity here also salivary glands also is there. Here these pancreatic onwards pancreatic duct, and then liver onwards hepatic duct. Already one time I said liver we call as a hepatic. That hepatic convert hepatic duct. Okay, that liver onwards hepatic duct opening into the duodenum. Okay, opening into the duodenum. That duodenum place, in which place these hepatic and pancreatic combining duct, hepatopancreatic duct opening place, Addi sphincter is there. Addi sphincter. One more time I will repeat, no problem. Here these liver having the gallbladder, these gallbladder to store the bile. The bile play an important role in the fats emulsification. Pancreatic converts, pancreatic juice will come, that also play an important role in the digestion of the proteins and carbohydrates. Okay, then when the food is entered to these part, duodenum, small intestinal duodenum, Small intestine are having the three major parts. One is the duodenum, next one is the jejunum, next ileum. Okay, jejunum having a lot of coiled part, and last part ileum. That ileum will be opening into the next part of large intestine. Now these are large intestine having the three major parts. Large intestine, one is a cecum, next colon and rectum. Cecum, colon and rectum. First part is the cecum, this place, and then this is the colon, and then the last part sac like structure, that is the rectum. Okay, when you seen that in this diagram, this is the end part of the small intestine, that end part ileum opening into the next part large intestine. Such a part we called as a cecum. At the place vermiform appendix, yesterday I said, correct now? Vermiform appendix. These vermiform appendix present in the junction of the small intestine and then large intestinal places. Then these cecum next part leads to the colon three parts, again divided into the three regions. One is a ascending limb, this is the ascending colon, and then transverse colon, and then descending colon, this is the descending colon. Okay, so here these descending colon next opening into the small sac like structure, that is a rectum. Next rectum opening into the a small hole, that is a anal pore. In this anal pore having the two sphincters. One is the internal anal sphincter and another thing external anal sphincter. One more time I will tell. Internal anal sphincter we can't control, but external anal sphincter we can control. Okay, because of internal anal sphincter is made up of the smooth muscle not at our control. So these are the parts of our alimentary canal. Pharynx leads to the esophagus leads to the stomach having the cardiac part, and then fundic and pyloric. The in between of the esophagus to cardiac stomach, the gastroesophageal sphincter is there. As usually stomach leads to the next part small intestine, the small intestinal part duodenum. In this place pyloric sphincter is there, and then in the duodenum place what it is there, opposite sides, one side liver, another side pancreatic onwards pancreatic duct, hepatic onwards hepatic duct, both are combined and opening into the duodenum. Then that will be leads to the next small intestinal part, second part jejunum, and then last part ileum. Jejunum is a coiled part and ileum is a next continuation part. The small intestine is a largest part in the alimentary canal. Then these small intestine open into the large intestine. Large intestine having the colon, cecum, colon, rectum. Cecum is a first proximal part, colon is a long part. Again basing on their arrangement, colon is a three parts. One is ascending, another thing transverse, another thing descending, finally rectum. Now the rectum opening into the small pore that we called as a anus. Okay, then come here four sphincters I said, four sphincters. Here gastroesophageal sphincter, here pyloric sphincter. Along with the pyloric sphincter, these hepatic and pancreatic onwards opening ducts, one more sphincter, Addi sphincter. Then in this place anal sphincters are two. One is the external sphincter, another one is the internal sphincter. These sphincters are allowing the movement of the food items. Here gastroesophageal sphincter is a prevention the backward direction of the food. Okay, as like this also. And Addi sphincter wise they are allowing the hepatopancreatic juices. Okay, pancreatic convert pancreatic juice, hepatic converts bile juice, they are allowing into the alimentary canal. So that's why they are connecting with the ducts. So that's why we call it as associatory ducts. Then next we are going with the next place, next one that is a pharynx. In the pharynx part In the pharynx, time, it is a common passage of the food and air. Okay, because of here already we discussed what we are inhale, that is air entering into the pharynx, and then food also entering the inside. Okay, pharynx. Now these pharynx are divided into the three chambers. One is a nasopharynx, another one, the second one is a oreopharynx, third one laryngopharynx. Nasopharynx, which of the pharynx part nearest to the nasal chamber, that is a nasopharynx. Just for your understanding wise, I am saying, when you keep the in mouth Vicks or something Polo, when you inhale the air, something your nostril place having the inside something cool, so such a place we call as a nasopharynx. And then oreopharynx. Oreo means mouth. Oreo means mouth, buccal cavity. So food entering passage pharynx we call as a oreopharynx. And then laryngopharynx, which of the pharynx part nearest to the larynx. Sound box is there na, that sound box nearest to pharynx we call as a laryngopharynx. Okay, in the laryngopharynx opening into the glottis, I think a small hole present above the trachea, that we call as a glottis, that is allowing the food item to the inside. Okay, and the place of the hole of these glottis on the above, one leaf like structure is there. That leaf like structure we call as a epiglottis. You know the significance of the epiglottis. Epiglottis is to prevent the entry of the food item into the air passage. Correct na? Any food item should not enter the trachea. So that is prevented by the epiglottis. Okay, and then in the pharyngeal places only, side of the pharynx, lymphoid tissue is there. They especially in the childhood we have the lot of pain about these lymphoid tissue. That lymphoid tissue we call as a tonsils. That tonsils, three type of tonsils are there. That one is pharyngeal tonsils. That pharyngeal tonsils only we called adenoids. Small, when we are childhood, adenoids will be swell out. Oftenly in childhood, because of it is affected by some of the viral infection. So adenoids will be swell out. It will cause several pain. So some of the people, some of the situations, they are removing the adenoids. When they are removing the adenoids, automatically their immunity power will decrease, because of lymphoid tissue play an important role in the immunity power. So immunity resistance will cause something effect. Okay, a pair of palatine tonsils. Palatine means already we discussed palate. That palate based tonsils are there. And one more thing, lingual tonsils. Lingual tonsils means lingula means tongue tonsils. So when sometimes when you are swallowing anything food, tongue base place we are getting something pain, that will be causing by the lingual tonsils. These tonsils are affected by or contaminated food, okay, are affected by any pathogen effect, that will be swell out, inflammation. By that inflammation, any one of the tonsils will cause us to something pain, but it is not any severe problem. Okay, this is about the pharynx. Okay, then come to the histology of alimentary canal. When you section cutting, when you did our alimentary canal in the section cutting kept into the microscope, you will observe the 4 layers in the alimentary canal. 4 layers of alimentary canal. Outer to inner layers, names like this. Outer layer we called as a serosa. Outer layer we called as a serosa. It is a connective tissue. And then second layer, muscularis. It is a muscle made layer. So that's why we given the name is a muscularis. These muscularis again having the 2 layers. Outer layer longitudinal muscles are there in the axis of the longitudinal axis, and inner layer circular muscles present. Okay, based on these muscular layer only, our food passages go on through the esophagus with the peristaltic movement. So uncontrolled movement in the esophagus, that is peristaltic movement. That peristaltic movement causing by the muscularis, that to smooth muscles. So smooth muscles contraction and relaxation is not in our control. Okay, then the third layer of alimentary canal, submucosa. Submucosa means it is a layer below the mucosa, so that's why it is a submucosa. And then submucosa ke bulda inside one more layer is there, that is a mucosa. These mucosa having the finger like projections, several finger like projections, that finger like projections we call as a villi. Sometimes that villi surface area also having the minute feathers like structures that we call as a microvilli, brush borders. Recently if you seen the recent manufacturing some of the brushes, toothbrushes, that toothbrushes are having the something minute feathers, base feathers are something, and when your top layer top feathers are very minuted. So such a thing generally finger like projections we call it a villi. On the above the villi surface area again one more finger like projections, feather like structures, that we call as a microvilli. Here these are the finger like projections. On these something hair like structures, that is a microvilli. These and all mucosa layer made up of the columnar epithelium. When I discussed about the structural organization of animals, on that time I said columnar epithelium presence in the alimentary canal. Now in the alimentary canal some of the cells are goblet cells, very significant cells. These goblet cells are synthesis something fluid. So that fluid we call as a mucus. What is the significance of this mucus? When the food is passed on through the alimentary canal, it should not damage the alimentary canal walls. So these mucus act as a lubricants. These mucus act as a lubricants. And then very important thing, in this microvilli, these villi having the lot of blood supply. Lot of blood supply, arteries and veins also is there. Along with arteries and veins, lymph supply also is there. A minute lymph capillaries we can see in that in the microvilli of alimentary canal. That lymph capillaries we call as a lacteals. What it is? Lacteals. What is the significance of these lacteals? Absorption place I will tell about the significance of lacteals. Okay, what we discussed in this video, tooth structure and about tongue parts, what are that significance of the tongue detection, how they are taste is detected by the tongue, and diagrammatic explanation of the human digestive system, and then pharyngeal parts, and then histology of alimentary canal. So the first part of digestive system totally completed in this session. Next session I will start about glands, digestive glands we want to study. Okay.